Welcome to the post-election bird's eye view. I am Randy the War Duck, and we are here with the lovely Mr. Krow.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, so unless you are completely dead and have no idea of
Which might
reality,
be possible.
or I mean, if you're in the coma, I guess maybe you don't know who won,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
everybody else knows who won.
Yes.
And what I was kind of surprised of is like I honestly I don't know who is the leader of the UK or who's the Australian president or whoever they have or whatever it's called. I honestly don't
Yeah.
know. But
I'll look.
when I was looking around, you know that like Australia and the UK had election watch parties.
Oh, yes.
And the support for Trump, like Australia loves Trump, and so does the UK. And
Yeah.
I was
Prime Minister. That's it. Prime
okay.
Minister.
And I was very surprised by that for some reason. I don't know, because honestly, to me, is I have been very unpolitical my entire life. And at 50 years old, almost, well, I guess I better not. At almost 49 years old by a month or two, I've literally only voted, what, 4 times.
Oh, okay.
4 times, that's it. I voted once in 1994 when I was able to vote. Go Ross Perot.
Oh my gosh, that was a while ago.
and since then I just never really cared about politics. And then all of a sudden this Trump guy comes around, and I don't know if I voted or not.
In 2020 or
No,
2016?
in 2016. I honestly
Yeah.
can't remember, because I think I did because we just recently moved to Arizona, and I think that we registered and everything. So
Okay.
I must have voted. Okay, anyway. So like for me, like I didn't like living in this country, I was very unpolitical.
Yeah.
And didn't
Which
really
is
watch it.
interesting for your to me to hear, which is interesting knowing your past of being in the military, right? I don't know. It just catches me a little off guard, but I think it's very interesting to hear.
So from my point of view, when I see these other countries so invested in our election, it was shocking to me, very shocking to me,
Yeah.
that there was literally filled streets in the UK and in Australia watching the election and celebrating Trump's momentum and victory.
Yes.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
Australia and the UK, they effing love Trump to death. And then I don't know. It's shocking to me that other countries are so invested in that. It's just weird. I mean, it's cool, but it's just weird.
I'm just going to say, to cover our butts, that's at least what the news that we're getting, whether it be fake or not, we don't know. Because I agree. I'm with you. I've heard and seen some postings, TikTok friends and so forth that are in the UK. And yeah, they had election parties where they're like, you guys have to vote for Trump. You guys have to do it. Like, if you guys don't get Trump elected again, you're toast.
It's just funny to me to watch a Australian news site and just see a bunch of people run around with MAGA hats. It's just like, I'm like, what? But I don't know. It's anyway. Okay, let's move on.
That's interesting, though.
Okay,
it's good.
So in 2020, we're gonna take a look at this because this is fascinating to me. In 2020, when the most popular president ever wins the popular vote with 81 million votes, and Trump gets 74 million, and this was the most voted on election ever, and it was also the most contested. It was also the most contested election ever, with all kinds of conspiracy theories of voter fraud and stuff. So
this one was, or the 2016,
the 2020 when Biden
2020,
won.
yes.
there was all kinds of election fraud theories.
Yes.
However, by the end of 2023, in the middle of 2024, there were proven election fraud claims. There are cases moving through the court of people that defrauded the election.
Yes.
Now, you get to the so Biden takes office in 2020.
Yep.
And then as part of his presidential preference is he installs people into different offices. So he installs people into the Census Bureau. And then he says, hey, it's 2020. By the constitutional law, the census has to be completed. Go out and count the people. So the census goes out and they count the people. Now, the thing is nowhere in there, because they didn't think about it way back in 1776. Does it have anything to where it talks about, do you count the people or do you count all people?
There's a difference. I'm following it.
So with the Democrats flooding the border with illegal aliens and bringing them into the country, the Census Bureau.
That's exactly where I was like, I'm following you.
The Census Bureau is counting people that aren't necessarily the people, because
it's all people.
In constitutional law, the people are people only within the Constitution. And
they're basically Americans.
In one of the 2A cases, the federal courts ruled that illegal aliens do not have the ability to conceal carry because they are not part of the people.
The people. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, now, anyway, but they were counted.
Interesting.
Whatever, and we're moving forward, right?
Okay.
So then they get the census all done. And then they take the all the electoral votes and they divide them up because there's only a certain amount, 435 or 500 and something.
I can't remember, but I want to say it's 500 or something.
Okay.
What is it?
So every state gets 2, and then I think there's 435. No, there's 538 members of the Electoral College. Okay. So
538, yep.
All right. So what they do is with the current population, every 760,000 people, you get one congressional district and an extra electoral college vote.
Okay.
Every state gets 2, and then every 760,000 people, you get an extra congressional district, which gives you an extra congressional vote.
Okay.
Okay. So, like, for example, Montana does not have 760,000 people. So, they do, but they don't have enough to get a second one, right? They don't have 14. Yeah. Right. Okay. So they get the 2 for the state and 1 for the congressional district. Does that make sense now? Okay. All right.
So they get 3.
So they go out and they count. And then they divvy them all up. And then a couple years later, which you can look up on the Census Bureau themselves, these are facts from the Census Bureau, is they said they do an audit of their census to see how well they did. And then they
I already know where this is going.
And then they go, oh, dang it. We messed up. We actually we gave Colorado an extra one, which they shouldn't have had. They should have actually actually, no. Sorry, I missed. Not
Colorado
Colorado should have lost one because the population loss, and New York should have lost one, which was population loss.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, that one was interesting.
2 solid blue states, right?
Yep.
Guess who should have gained those? Texas and Florida. And Florida possibly should have gained 2.
Okay.
So in 2020, they tried to already steal the vote. They already tried to sway the vote because before the stuff was counted, there was a distinct possibility that Kamala could win with 270 and Trump would have 268, and there would be two fraudulent electoral college votes swaying the vote.
Interesting. Okay.
And here's my question is, right, is like, oh, okay, we made the mistake. Okay, fix it.
So fix it.
We're about to have an election. Oh, no, we're not going to fix it. No, we got to leave it. What? Okay. Then again, in the most scrutinized, watched election in history, the 2024 election.
For sure.
Again, there was proven election fraud, both in Colorado and in Michigan.
Really?
That are pending court cases already, but there's more out there. So these are just the people that got caught. That. Yeah, there's just the people that got caught, right? Okay. So in Michigan, a Chinese foreign exchange student goes and votes. Uh-oh, we lost Mr. Krow.
Uh-oh. Did you lose me?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can get that back.
So okay, we got Krow back. All right, so this Michigan foreign exchange student must okay. So I'm gonna tell you what happened, and then we'll go through. So this Michigan foreign exchange student goes and votes, then goes back to them and says, "Hey, I would like my ballot back," and then they arrest him and throw him in jail. And then they say, "Yeah, it was already counted. We can't take it back." Okay.
I'm confused about that. Okay.
So here's my thought. Is somebody told him he could vote. When he got there, maybe he got a driver's license or whatever, somebody registered him to vote. Illegally. And then everybody told him to go vote. Or somebody told him to go vote. Or he had a voter ID card and thought, okay, I'm going to vote. Then after he voted, I think he told somebody, he's like, oh yeah, I just voted. And they're like, yeah, bro, you're not U.S. citizen. You can't vote. It's illegal. And then he freaked out when he found out that he wasn't supposed to vote. And that's why he went back to ask for his
ballot back.
His ballot back. And then they're like, what do you mean you want your ballot back? Oh, well, I'm not supposed to vote. I'm Chinese. Oh, okay. Well, here's some handcuffs. And now you're arrested. And now you're going to get deported. But I think that's the scenario. But the
interesting.
The fact that Michigan says, oh, it was already counted, we can't take it back, baffles me.
Yeah.
Because you're telling me that you can't find it and figure out who he voted for and then just subtract one from the total numbers at the end?
That's exactly what I was thinking, Why can't you just...
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but here's how things like this work. If one person did it, I guarantee it was done at other places. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when I worked in passports in California, in Los Angeles, at least 5 times that I remember very clearly, people came up to my window to apply for a passport with a voter registration card. And then when I would say, where's your birth certificate? And they would say, or when I would say, okay, where's your naturalization certificate?
Yeah.
They would say, well, I'm not naturalized. And I say, okay, where were you born? Mexico. Yeah, well, you can't vote. This ID card is fraudulent. It's illegal. Well, they gave it to me. It's like, well, I don't care what they did. You can't get a passport. You have to go.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Wow.
So that happened at least 5 times from 2009 to 2011.
Wow.
Way back then. That was back then. But with the mass push of it now, of how many illegals are in this country now, I guarantee you that's happening again. All right. So
hundreds of thousands of them too. Yeah.
Okay. Swaying the census. Anyway, so the popular vote. Biden gets 81 million, Trump gets 74 million. And then in 2024, the most publicized election in the history of histories,
Yep.
Kamala Harris gets 70 and a half and Trump gets 74. Wait a minute. Trump got 74 before. In fact, he got 400,000 or he got 100,000 more than he did last time.
Okay.
But wait a minute. Kamala's missing 11 million votes.
Yeah, where did the other...
So you're
where did last
telling
year or
me,
last time's go?
So you're telling me 11 million people in this highly contested election
Yeah.
stayed home and didn't vote?
Yet they even have pushed it and notified and putting out the news that this was record voting.
And even
This was a record voting.
And I know they say, oh, well, they're still counting, so the numbers will even out. Okay, let's put it to you this way.
Not that
let's
much.
Let's say it was not 10 million, but 1 million. Let's say it was 1 million. Because if it was 1 million, Trump only lost by what? 7 million votes of the popular vote, but he only lost in places like Georgia and others by thousands. By mere thousands. So you're telling me that either A, here's your options. A is 11 million people stayed home and didn't vote at all.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
11 million people died and don't exist anymore to vote.
COVID hit hard.
Or C, there was a lot of fraud in 2020.
Which was, yeah.
Just saying.
That's been a topic.
Just saying.
Yeah,
okay,
that's true. It's true.
So, to me, this proves that there was a lot of fraud in 2020. There's no way there's even 10 million people that stayed home. There's just no way. It's just not a thing. Not in this election where Orange Man bad, blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Nancy Pelosi voted a lot last time in 2020.
And so
this time she couldn't do it.
So now we'll get to the point, right? Trump wins the popular vote, which is the first time a Republican has done that in 20 years, by the way.
Was Reagan the last one?
Maybe. I'm not.
Okay.
And then,
I remember he. Yeah.
Now you have all the wokies freaking out, right?
Yeah, we do.
And here's my point, right?
They're
no
crazy,
man will touch me until I have my rights back. Why is the 4B movement going viral after the Trump wins? Well, here's the thing, right? This
is crazy.
Not only was all these people because they want to have abortion, right? Well, now now Trump has already made a change because these people are no longer out whoring around. They don't need abortion.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. This 4B, I mean, it makes sense where it originated and what the source is, but why I don't even know what to say. Like from why they are taking such a ride to it now and holding on to it here in America.
It's just
I don't get it.
It's because people are whacked out. That's the thing. Is all these wokies that are saying this and spewing this literally need to go see a psychiatrist and get some help because they are so far gone. It's just that bad. Because here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the other thing, right? Is you know how like when you've been divorced 4 or 5 times, maybe it's you. Right? Maybe it's you. If you've been divorced 4 or 5 times, maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you. Maybe you need to take a hard look internally and think maybe it's you. And so
there's a common denominator there.
So let's turn this around, right? Trump won the popular vote in the United States.
Yep.
The Electoral College landslide. It wasn't even close.
No.
So
Kamala didn't even do as well as Joe.
Right. So if you wokies are freaking out, maybe it's you, right? Maybe it's not the rest of the country. It's just you minority because you didn't win the popular vote. So you are in the minority. So maybe it's you. Maybe the problem is you, and you need to look internally about your mental illness.
And we're not bashing and being rude. It's being honest, right? And that's the thing too.
Yeah.
Is
It's a little of both.
it's a little of both. Seeing, I don't know. I just
because honestly, for the last 4 years, Trump supporters have been basically they've been called racist. They've been called misogynistic. They've been called this or that and blah blah blah. But it's only by the minority. So if the most popular vote won,
the thing too is we've kept our mouths closed too because of it. We take it for the most part, right? We just let it.
The thing is, that's what Republicans do, right? That's why always the media, the woke media, the left media always puts these polls out and say, the Democrats are winning by 6 points. The Democrats are winning by 12 points, right? So in 2016, Clinton was winning by 8 points, and then Trump wins.
Yeah.
And then in the Biden Trump one, he was winning by 12 points, and then it was super close. And then this one, Kamala was winning the whole time in every single poll by 8 points.
But it just comes, I don't know. I think it really too. The American people really kind of spoke up a little bit and said we're tired of it.
Yeah, well,
like if you really look at it, because we're just tired of it.
That's the whole thing. Is these people that are freaking out. We'll get to some more because here this other headline which I just love, especially because I work in passports. I'm waiting for the Russia passports of all the people that I'm leaving the country if Trump wins. Okay, bye. Right? So all the Hollywood stars that are leaving. Bye. Good riddance.
Bye. Yeah.
Her name's America Farah.
America favorite. Farah, yeah.
All right. Well. Oh, Cher.
Good luck for Cher.
Bye.
Cher said way back in the day, she's like, if Trump wins, I'm going to Mars.
Sophie Turner.
Seems a little excessive. Bye. Go for
it. Sophie Turner. Bye. Christina Applegate. Bye. don't stop now. Yeah. You said it out loud. Go away. Yeah. Who's this one? Billie Eilish. Oh,
Billie Eilish.
God, go, please. Get the hell out. What a joke.
Well, there's one that makes me, I was kind of sad about hearing it because it's kind of a bummer. I don't know them that well, but everybody's heard Green Day. But yeah, the lead singer of Green Day really spoke out, and he's like, Trump, I don't want to be an American citizen anymore, and blah blah blah. And I'm like,
Robert De Niro,
dude,
bye.
Yeah. De Niro can go, man. He can go.
And the thing is I wonder how many of the Diddy groupies are bailing out, right?
They need to,
because damn near everybody that Kamala Harris brought out to support her, J-Lo and Beyonce and JD, all of them are all the Diddy group, right? Those are all people in trouble with Diddy. And now that Trump is president, likely Diddy won't die in prison. Diddy will get to speak out. Diddy will get to point fingers at who else was involved.
Yeah.
The Clintons won't be able to get to him like they might have got to Epstein.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm actually kind of excited. It's brought a whole bunch of hope.
Well, and that's really the thing, right? And that's really what this boils down to, is the country didn't like where they were going. And that is shown in this vote. All the gloating aside or whatever, all the persecution aside, is this country has to get fixed, and Trump is going to fix it. And that's the whole thing. Because this whole lawfare BS is it just can't happen ever again. It just can't. And then this whole censorship stuff, with Meta actually saying that they took part in censorship in the 2020 election. Right? They came out and admitted it. And I don't understand how he's not in jail for for election interference, but whatever. And then this whole fake January 6th BS.
Oh gosh,
They're all
the January 6th BS.
He's gonna pardon every single one of them because they were unfairly prosecuted. And then I hope that the government pays out to those unfairly prosecuted. And then the state, Fannie Willis and whoever, one of the new guys in the Trump cabinet said that if they continue to push this fake narrative and abuse the law to make up charges to fit, that he will throw them all in jail and have them disbarred.
Oh wow.
So that's honestly what has to happen. And then Trump needs to go through and sweep out all of these judges that are playing this legal game, because this is honestly what they were doing. Somebody would bring a 2A case, and then they would go up for review. And then they didn't want to send it up through to the Supreme Court because of the current makeup. They were hoping Kamala would win and replace a couple justices with their own. So they were pushing it back down and never letting it get to the Supreme Court. That game is over.
Lost. I may have lost you again. Yeah.
Okay, so Trump's back.
And I was just
back,
based
but Krow is back.
Yeah, one thought that I had on that, though, that we were talking about that I wanted to state is there is still so much that Trump has to go in and try to fix and try to do. It's amazing to know, and if you go back and look of just how much has happened in the past 4 years, it like Biden went in and just erased all of Trump's stuff.
Well, that's about what's exactly going to happen. It's
gonna be hard.
Yeah.
And so with that, I just kind of wanted to say we got to think of the future already. So JD Vance, 2029, go.
Think so? You think so?
That something along that line.
I mean, to me, there's a lot of strong Republicans, including Tulsi Gabbard, who came from the Democratic side. You got whatever that guy's name is.
I worry. I really am like thinking of what they're going to the Democrats are going to try to do in the next 4 years.
Well,
and
they have a lot of thinking and retrospect to do, because you obviously can see that the country was not happy with what they were doing. And so if they plan on running on that same platform again, it's over. There's no way they can recover. And
I really hope that they try to do that again.
The thing is, they have to come so far back to the middle again to even be remotely competitive in the next election.
Well, and that's, I look back at it, and you look at Biden, and at least I do, I look at Biden and Kamala, and it really seemed like they have, especially Kamala, was pushing the approach. We've all heard the thing where you got to be woke. Like, if you can be a little woke, but you need to be woke. Just make sure you're woke. And I'm like, you're playing such a small part of what the residents of the U.S. are. And you're not going to win for that. Well, I think you're right. They're going to have to come back in the middle.
And see, the LGBT community, I feel really bad for them, because they're the ones that are going to get hurt in all this thing.
Yes.
Because even they are against all this transgender BS. And
the people that I know, they've at least the people that I know and I've talked to, they're like, I just feel like we've got we've got the spotlight on us.
Yeah.
They feel bad.
They progressed so far and we're getting the stuff that they wanted, like the marriage and all that, and everybody was okay with it. And then all of a sudden this transgender thing came along, and nobody knew what a woman was, and they were putting men against women in high school sports and college sports. And then now this is where the far right backlash against them really hurts the LGBTQ, because the moderate Republicans in the middle are fine with them, but they
Yeah.
don't. They're not with this whole transgender influencing thing. But the far right is pushing on the whole
It
LGBTQIA
was the
blah blah blah
whole
blah blah
thing.
blah. Right?
Yeah.
When just that particular set of the community were just starting to get where I think they started to feel comfortable in society.
And that's kind of where I started seeing it becoming, and I hate saying this out loud, but it's kind of what I saw and observed. Let me put it that way. It's more of what I observed. It became a fad. It became a trend, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's where at least the people that I've talked to,
here's the problem.
They're frustrated with it.
Here's the other problem of that is the science, right? Science used to actually be based on fact. And now it's not. Now when you talk about the science, it's just somebody's woke viewpoint. And if you don't agree, then you're not with the science, right? It's like okay, that's not how it works, right?
Correct.
So you're talking about what? It was a few years ago, less than 1% of society. And now all of a sudden you're talking like 7 or 8% of the society. And that's strictly from influence. And that's what I think. I think Trump's gonna curb all of that. Like he said that in this first 100 days, like he's gonna just wipe everything clean and start from anew. And the thing is what happens in the beginning of a presidency is right now they're already writing executive orders.
Yeah.
So
his group
he starts, they can just sign these executive orders and roll back a lot of what Trump did to hurt this. I mean, what Biden did to hurt this country.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, we let this go a little long, and before Krow disappears again, we're gonna try to get out of here.
Okay.
So, thanks for joining us on the Bird's Eye View. Appreciate it. Go ahead and leave your comments in there, and
let us know what you think.
What are your hopes for the future in this term from Trump? What do you hope happens?
That'd be awesome to hear. Yeah.
Because for me, it's parental rights reestablished, and that if something happens at school or my daughters want something at school or somebody says something at school, is that they have to tell me, not hide it from me. That's to me, that's upsetting.
Yeah.
So I want to see that kind of stuff stopped and reset. So
I hope I hope that Trump can truly reset things and we can come back to a unity that I feel like we've been divided. Like I really truly feel that it has really divided it. It started with this movement, that movement, this thing. I felt like we were much closer 8 years, 12 years ago than we have been. And that's what I hope that we can get back to.
Is the extremist poll. When you pull extreme one side, the other side reacts and they go extreme the other.
Yeah.
And so because
I hope we can reunite.
The Democrats and Republicans used to be very centered. Like just off to the left, just off to the right a little bit. And lately it's just gone and been a huge divide. And that's what we have to correct. We have to bring everybody back to the center. You don't have to agree.
No.
But we need to get the extremism out and bring everybody back to the middle so we can have actual serious conversations.
I was just going to say that.
Look at the science and not just automatically you're wrong because you're the other side.
I really hope that we can unite to openly talk and discuss. I'm happy that you don't see things the same way I do, because that means you're seeing it from a different point of view. So how do we come to the middle? And how do we agree to help, to meet in the middle? That's what I hope that gets fixed in the next 4 years.
Right. If you made it this far, please leave
thanks again, everyone.
And we appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Much love all, but we are out of here.
Bye, everyone. See ya.